Good morning, everyone, and happy Friday. Roseward, stampersdelight.com. Hop on, say hi, let me know where you're from. If you're watching this on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Is anybody up with me this early this morning? I will be honest with you, I did not want to get up this morning. Hey, Meg. Meg, you're always like the first one. Hi, Deborah. All right, so others are up with me too. It may be early morning for some of you or evening for others. Again, Roseward, stampersdelight.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. And we are going to jump right in here. As you can see, I don't even know if you can see the whole thing, but I have my sleep shirt on. Eat, sleep, stamp, repeat. That's what we do, right? And we are going to get started right now. So let's get going. Hey, Karen, where are you from? That's a name I don't remember seeing. Hi, Sabrina, Trudy. All right, we're going to get started. So if you'd like to place an order with me, just go to stampersdelight.com. This is my August host code. Please use the August host code if your order is less than $150. You don't want to use it if it's more than $150 because then you get the hostess rewards points. Or if you have any questions, you can also just go to stampersdelight.com and contact me. For the Stampers Delight shop, you're going to go to stampersdelightshop.com. That's for some fun apparel like the sleep shirt that I have on. Some great t-shirts, sweatshirts, kids stampers in training, kids t-shirts. If you're a demo out there watching me and you're stamping your way to your next incentive trip, we got shirts for that. So don't forget to check that out. So before we begin, grab your coffee, grab your tea, come stamp with me. Yes, this mug is out there too. And let's get in to stamping. Hi, Teresa. I will talk to you later. Hi, Susan. Hi, Angie. Okay. So for today's project, what I am using, and let me just move some of this out of the way, is the Nature's Harvest Suite. So let me show you that first. You got the Nature's Harvest. Oh, let me flip the camera. It's early. Nature's Harvest. That is the stamp set. You got these gorgeous dies. Okay, you can see I've been using mine. Love, love, love these. I love this so much that I have decided that now that my August online class is already signed up and nobody else can sign up for that one, I'm going to make the Nature's Harvest Suite my September monthly online class. Okay, we got this great time-worn type embossing folder. If you'd like to know more about my classes, just go to stampersdelight.com to my blog later today. Everything will be there. So we're going to be using this one tonight or today. And also, this will be my September online class. A couple people have asked me the way I run my online classes, okay? You either order the bundle, the suite, and you get a card kit to make 6 cards, 3 designs, 2 of each. Okay, it's up to you which one you purchase, and there are different prices out there. I don't send a PDF, just so you know. It's a tutorial, a video tutorial, so that you can follow along at your leisure. Okay, so the other items that I will be using, you might see today, is the In Your Words Celebration Hostess set. Thank you, Marilyn. Definitely share this video. So the In Your Words, you can get free with a $300 workshop or order. Okay, so you're going to see me use the happy birthdays here. The other items that I have used are layering circle dies and also our rectangular stitched framelit dies. So those are some other things you'll see. Again, everything will be in the description later, stampersdelight.com. One other thing I want to mention before we get started, I have a fall retreat. Now, my fall retreat takes place in person on October 9th here at my home, but you can also do it online. For the fall retreat, you're going to get the Sparkle of the Season with the dies. You're also going to get the Little Delights. And for both the August online class, the September online class, and the fall retreat, okay, because the sign-up is in September for these, you get to pick a celebration set. That's why I did the sign-up a little bit earlier. So all of this will be in my description again on my blog. This is for the fall retreat. So you get this bundle, this stamp set, plus a celebration set. I always have to clear my throat before I do this. I'm going to grab another sip of coffee. How are you, mate? I like that, Sam. Thank you. Okay, so first let's start with some samples. Okay, so celebration, mini catalog. And in the mini catalog, we are going to be doing, again, the Harvest Meadow. And here's the designer series paper and everything you get on that. That's on page 54. Remember, celebration, you get a free $50 item with a $50 order or a $100 order. You get to order something free. I'm not going to open that. I think you've seen it enough. Let's start with the samples. So the first sample I'm going to bring in is this one. And this is Sending Healing Thoughts. Now this tag back here is from the Beauty of Tomorrow set. So you can see that, hey Matthew! You can see that goes nicely with this stamp set or suite, and also the brushed metallic dots. Okay, so this is the first card I did. And of course you can read the sentiments later on the stamp set. What do you think about that one? I love this. Oh my goodness, I love this. Okay, the next one I did, let me bring in these dies for a second. So, because I always like to show you what dies I used. Okay, so for that one, of course, I stamped it and I used this larger die and then the long sentiment die. The next one I'm going to bring in is this one. Now, here's our cork paper. That also comes with the suite. And that is very, very thin, so it goes through the die cutting machine very easy. I also, and you probably can't see it, but on both of these cards, I use that embossing folder to give it a little more texture back here. And a little more texture on here and also on here. Now, I distressed these pieces, this piece right here and this one, to distress, just so I can show you, in case you don't know what distressing is. You just take your cardstock or your designer series paper, take a pair of good sharp scissors, and just hold that, and that starts distressing the edges. Okay, so that's distressing. So again, this die is this one right here. And it doesn't cut the whole thing out, like these little pieces don't cut out. It embosses it. So you may not be able to see that up close, but I'm going to try. There you go. You can see the little embossing imprints. And of course, this is with our glitter paper, ombre glitter paper that's in the catalog, the large catalog, our annual catalog. And there you can see the sentiments from the In Your Words. And of course, there's that ribbon. Now the ribbon is a little thick. So I will tell you that I don't like tying a bow with it, but a knot looks lovely. And this is a tent fold card. Hope your day is fantastic. So there's another card with that set. Now this one, if we have time, I'm going to do 2 cards this morning. Here we go again with the great background. Designer series paper, piece of basic white. Of course, the designer series paper is our normal 4 by 5 1/4. This piece is 3 1/4 by 5. And then I also used that embossing folder for that background there. And then, of course, I stamped and then did a spotlighting. And this is our little bee from the annual catalog. And again, you see that happy birthday sentiment, because I needed a few birthday cards. So, and of course that's the Calypso Coral. Same card, different color, and then with the cork behind it. Whoop, just get this out of there. So basically the same card, but now you see I used the cork, and this is where I used my layering circles. Hi, Tammy. Yes, it does. Okay, so here I use the cork background. Let me bring that in. Again, that's spotlighting. And this one I stamped the thank you before I put it through the embossing machine. Thank you, Angie. And of course, this is the Misty Moonlight. This I left blank because it's a thank you card. I like to write my own messages. So again, the same card, just two different ideas. The last card I have is the actual one we're going to do, or I'm going to do. And that's, I did this a few years ago. This is what I call my Z-fold. Oh, thank you, Sam. My Z-fold easel card. Now, when you look at it, here's the front flap, and you pull it out. That looks like the Z-fold, right? But there's actually a back to it, so it stands up like this. Now, I'm going to just flip the camera for a moment so I can show you what it would look like standing up. Let me get it right in the camera. So this could stand on somebody's desk or fireplace. And this is a Z-fold easel card. Let me just flip this back. Okay, again, it's very easy to make. And I'm gonna show you how right now. And of course, there's our cork background. Okay, I'm gonna change up the colors. And I'm gonna bring in the pieces. Some of the pieces I have already cut. Now, let me just bring in my Misty Moonlight. Move this out of the way. Wipe my hands with my Stampin' Clean towel. Make sure my hands are clean before I start, because I have a habit of getting everything all over. All right. Let me take this piece of paper. I'm going to take my paper trimmer. I'm going to take a regular, thank you, Joyce. Oh, thank you, Kim. Okay, this is a regular sheet of cardstock, 8.5 by 11. You're going to go right in the middle here, and you're going to cut that right at 4 1/4. You need both pieces. Then I'm going to turn this, and I am going to score it in half, which of course is at 5 1/2. I'm going to go ahead and score that. And I'm going to go ahead and score the second piece. All the measurements will be on my blog later today, but I am giving them to you as we do this. Again, I'm going to score that one right in half. Okay. I'm going to bring in my bone folder because you really want to burnish this really well. I am going to move this up a little bit so that we can see better. Burnish that really well. And again with that. Okay. One of these pieces you are just going to make into a Z-fold card. So you can use your paper trimmer to fold that back and score it. I'm just going to fold it back here, and I'm just going to burnish that back and forth. I'm going to flip it around. I really want that piece burnished well. Okay, so that starts your Z-fold, right? There's the Z-fold. This is actually going to be your easel part. So we're going to hold off on that for a minute. First, we're going to decorate this, okay? So I've already I've already done some pieces ahead of time. This is a piece of basic white, which is going to go back here. And that's 4 by 5 1/4. And then we have a piece of the Designer Series paper, which is 3 1/4 by 5. That's going to layer right on there. I can go ahead and do that before I do the next step. Now, I'm using my Stampin' Seal. I use Stampin' Seal a lot. It's quick and easy for me, but you can use any adhesive. Thank you. Oh, thank you so much, Angie. I appreciate that. I'm going to lay that right there. Okay. And then I'm going to bring in a piece of that thin cork. Let me move these over there so I don't lose them. Here's a piece of that thin cork. Now, I'm going to bring in my rectangle framelits, and I'm going to show you something I do with when I have a lot of pieces like this because they're not numbered. I take a Sharpie marker and I number them just so I know which ones to use. So for this frame, I'm going to use number 1 and number 4. So just take a Sharpie marker and number them so you know which ones you need. At least it works for me anyway. Okay, now I'm going to cut this out. So I am going to bring in my die cutting machine and I am going to layer these two right here. Now that's what I did for this one, right? So that inside piece is what I used for this card. Okay. Oh, thank you, Sam. Sam said she seconds that. Well, I'm so happy that I am helping everyone. Okay, so I'm going to bring this in, and I am going to lay it down. I know some people do the dies face up. I also do it that way sometimes, but because I don't want this to move, I am going to take this piece off here. There's a piece stuck in here. I am going to do it this way first. Okay, so I'm just laying that right here to make a picture frame. I gotta turn this because I am right-handed. Okay. Now it's still stuck in there, so now what I'm gonna do is I am going to do it the opposite way. Okay, because I do want it to cut through. Oop, let's do it this way now. I do want it to cut through. But you see, I did it the one way first so that it wouldn't move. Okay, let's move this out of the way and bring this back in. You may have to play around with this a little bit. It is pretty thin and it could tear, so be gentle with it. I'm just using my finger to go around it. Sometimes it does get stuck. And if I get a bad edge, then I can just use my paper snips to cut it out. Okay, so I'm just pulling that off. That one came off nice and easy. If it seems like your dies aren't working as well, use some wax paper on it, and it just seems to coat it. Okay, now I am gently pushing this through to get that frame. Good morning, Monica. How are you? And how is Rick? Excuse me. You see there's a little piece there. I'll just cut that off. I apologize for coughing, but it's August, and in New York, for some reason, even though the summer's not over, August we tend to get a lot of pollen. Okay, so some of these pieces are stuck a little bit. So I'm just going to use my paper snips right there and cut that little piece off. Okay. It's very thin paper, and it does get stuck sometimes. But here's a little hack for you. We'll use that for another one. Okay, I'm just going to trim this little piece off here. Okay. All right. Then I can decide which piece I'm going to have at the top. Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear it. Tell them we said hi and hello to you too. Sending you hugs till the next trip. We had such a great time with them. And Tammy and Tom and Joyce. This is going to go right over here. I am going to grab my dimensional strips and I'm going to make that frame. So I'm just going to take some here. Put a little bit here. You can use the regular dimensionals too, but these strips work perfect for a frame. Okay, you're going to take your pick tool. Remember, the still shots will be on the blog later. Just going to take that off, along with the supplies used and the measurements. Okay. Okay. So here's my frame, and I'm going to lay that right over top of that designer series paper. Okay. Now, I am going to stamp with my Memento. And then I am going to grab the other die, or the die that goes to this set, which is this one. And I am going to run it through my machine. Okay. Zip. There we have it. Oh, look. I did 2 of them. The magic of television. Okay. I'm going to close this up before I get it all over myself. And I'm going to bring in some of my blends. I don't know what this card's going to look like with the colors, but we'll see. Okay, so of course in the catalog it tells you all the different colors that you can use that match the paper. It's Bumblebee is the yellow, but we don't have Bumblebee, so blends. So I'm going to be using my mango. This is our crumb cake. You can see I'm just circling those two. Normally, I even have these colored in, but I have a little extra time this morning. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and grab my my Mango Melody. Whoop. I want the nubby end. This is the dark. I'm just going to add some dark lines here and here. Who doesn't love the blends, right? Hello from Holland. Hello, Holland. What time is it there in Holland? Probably evening. If you're watching this on YouTube, again, don't forget to subscribe. Just blending that in. I'm using the bullet end, or the end I call the nubby. Coloring this kind of quick. I love blue and yellow together. Okay. And then one of the other colors that they have that coordinates with the paper, usually what I do when I am going to start creating a card, if it's with a suite and it's got designer series paper, I go and get the paper and the inks that they say coordinate. You don't have to use that all the time, but I find by taking that catalog and using the coordinating papers that they tell you to use, starts getting your juices flowing, as far as creating. I'll switch it off after that and start using other colors. But you know, sometimes when you want to start creating but you're not sure where to start, again, I take the colors they say that match the designer series paper, and I start with that. And I find after a couple of cards, I start thinking, oh wait, I can do it with this color, or I can do it with that color. So it's just a little tidbit for you. Oh, it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Holland. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget about the celebration sign-up special, too. If you'd like to join my team and the Stampin' Up! Family, you get to pick $125 of merchandise for $99. They pay the shipping. You pay the tax. But you also get to pick out one of 12 bundles. Let me just take a look. And this one might be on there. I don't remember all 12 bundles. Sorry. Beauty of Tomorrow. Doesn't look like this one. Oh yes, this bundle's in there too. So you could actually get this bundle as part of your starter kit. Just go to stampersdelight.com and click on Join My Team. I'd love to have you. Next week, I do Zoom chats with my team once a month. We're having a bingo night on the 18th. So that'll be fun. And of course, I award prizes. Okay, so there we have those two colored in. I am going to grab my Wink of Stella because it just calls out for it. Just add some Wink of Stella here. You may not be able to see the Wink of Stella, but it's there. I go through this probably just as much as I do my adhesives, making cards. Adhesives, you Stampin' Seal, you don't need a lot of, but I think I put Wink of Stella on almost every card. Okay, so I'm just adding some Wink of Stella here. Okay. Get that little piece out right there. Okay, so now I have two of these. Well, one of them is going to go right here. This one we'll save for later. Now, to save time, I will show you what I did with these. These pieces, I didn't use that one. This one and this one, they make these pieces back here, okay? And this is, of course, our gold shimmer paper that's in the catalog, the mini, and then there's some soft succulent that's in the annual catalog. I'll bring those up close so you can see it. So I wanted to change it up a little bit. So instead what I did is I used our ombre paper. So I have these. Aren't they pretty? So we're going to use those. Okay, so I am going to take this. Let's see, we'll use the dark, I think, and this light one. They're going to go right back there, but they're too long, so that's all right. I'm going to cut those. Just this one. I'm going to cut that. And that's going to go right here. Oh, a little bit more. I want it in my picture frame. Right there. And then the yellow one can go right here. Okay, so I need to put a little glue on that. You can use Tombow. You can use your detailed glue. Since I have my Stampin' Seal, I'm just going to take my silicone mat and use that, because the silicone mat will keep the glue down where I don't want it. Whoop, be gentle with those. Okay, so it sticks right on there. I'm going to go ahead and put that. Oh, I love the blue. Yes, I'm thinking the blue is really pretty. And then I am going to take the yellow one, put a little glue on that. Put that one right in there. And then I'm going to take one of these pieces that I've already cut. I am going to use dimensionals with that. So I'll put put a dimensional, using the larger dimensionals here. And then I'm going to switch to the smaller ones. Put that right in there. So there's my background. Now I'm going to bring in my card, and I am going to glue this down. Right here on the base. I think I did this card with the tea set the last time. Okay, for the front of the card, I had a piece of basic white, and that is 2.5 by 4, so that would go right here. And the designer series paper is 2 1/4 by 3 1/4. You can use any measurements that you want. If you don't want it as much white showing, you can cut it, don't cut it down as much, but I like to use measurements that are easy. Okay, so, and I also like a little bit more of the white border. Hey, Jean, thank you. Okay, we're going to put that right there. Glue that down right here. Yes, this set is great for that. Now, I've already cut out another one of those, which I showed you, and I did that in the blue also, but you can see I used the lighter ombre part of it. That's going to go right here, and this is going to go right over it. So again, you're going to want to stay tuned for the end. If you really like this card, you're going to want to stay tuned to the end. Remember, only put glue on the bottom portion, because you don't want it sticking on your card there. I'm going to put that right there. And then again with this, I'm going to take some dimensionals. Again, not on the top. So for this, I'm going to use the small ones. Hey, Karen Mickle, how are you? How's Florida? It must be really hot down there, because it's pretty hot here in New York. I'm just going to use 3 of those right now. If I have to stick another one behind it, I will. But I am just going to put this right here. And that's what creates that beautiful framed image. Okay, and of course that pulls out there. Oh, thank you. Now I'm going to take that whole Z-fold part. Then definitely tell all your friends about my videos if you love these cards. Here is my other piece that I cut in half and scored. This gets layered right on top of that. That's what makes the Z-fold easel card. Now I've already cut out one of these little tags. Oh, thank you. This one's a caser for sure. Lisa, go ahead and case away. I'm going to grab my thank you, my Misty Moonlight. Normally I would stamp it and then cut it out with the die, but because of time's sake, I want to do it this way. And I made 2 of them in case I make a mistake. I'm going to put thank you right there. This is absolutely a gorgeous stamp set and bundle. So remember, this is going to be my September online class. Oh my gosh. Okay, and if you'd like more information on my all-day retreat in October, or you want to come to it, let me know. It'll be on my Stampers Delight blog. Or if you'd like the online version, let me know. And there I have a nice little thank you. I am going to take one of these little bees. So I'm adding that. I didn't have a bee on that one, but I had more of the... I'm going to put him right here. Okay. If you like these cards, again, stay tuned. Wait till the end. I'm going to put that bee right there. I am going to bring in some of these. I think I'll use this color. I haven't used this color yet, so I'm going to put some of these little brushed metallic dots on it. And did I grab an envelope? Yep. And here's an envelope. And there you have it. Stacy, you can case it too. There you have my stand-up easel card Z-fold. Let me just flip it this way so you can see it. Okay, I know it's hard to see, so the still shots on my blog will be much better for you to see. Okay, flip the camera back. And let me take one of the stamps here and do the envelope. I have to do the envelopes when I do my stamping. Otherwise, I forget where it is. I'm just going to use that other stamp, the smaller flowered one. And now I have an envelope. Ta-da! You like that? Oh, thank you. And we even have time for the second card. Okay, so for the second card, and I've cut a lot of this out, I'm going to do the spotlighting, which was this card. Okay, only this time I'm using Bumblebee. And I am going to go ahead and fold that. So if you've never done a spotlight card, very easy. I've got a piece of designer series paper, which is going to go over that. I'd use that side too if I wanted. Maybe use that side. Yeah, I think I like that better. That is 4 by 5 1/4. So this white piece, thank you, Joyce, on top is 3 3/4 by 5. You're going to take this piece. I've already cut out from my layering circles, 2 circles, a circle with the cork and a layering circle of the basic white. I'm going to go ahead and put that right there. I am going to ink this up. Remember, I said stay till the end. Okay. I am going to stamp right on top of both of those. I'm going to give it a minute when I pull it off. There you go. Okay. I'm going to lift this one up. And I'm going to color these real quick. Again, I'm using my blends. I couldn't color this ahead of time. You see why. Okay, so again, bringing in... Whoop, that's the light one. I want the dark. Bringing in the crumb cake. I'm just going to add some color there. Do that. Thank you, Joyce. Okay. Again with the mango, because we don't have blends for the Bumblebee. This one, I'm using the bullet end because I think the other side is starting to not dry out, but I've used it several times. And okay, and then I'm going to go over here and fill in some of that color right there. And then blend that in. Remember, if you use blends, it does soak through the paper, so it's not something you can use and then open a card. You have to layer it. If you open the card, if you stamp on it, and then you use that as your card, you're going to see, oh, that didn't go through too bad, but I forgot to put dark on here, so we'll just leave this one light. Blend this one up. Got a little, I don't know if I'm going to see that one, but I'm going to put that there anyway. Okay, then I'm going to bring in my soft succulent. This is the dark. Just add some dark to it. Okay. I'm not one of those perfect colorers. Okay, we're just going to add some here and here, a little green there. Okay, it's all colored, and of course I have to add some Wink of Stella. Thanks for sharing the spotlight technique. Anytime, Joyce. Hey, Randy, good morning. Okay, so now I have my Wink of Stella on there. What I'm going to do is, this gets, yeah, blah. Okay, so you see how that goes, right? I'm going to line that up, okay. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to glue it onto my circle. Now, it doesn't matter because a circle's a circle. Where I glue it, I'm going to add that. I'm going to put that circle on that cork. I love this cork because it looks like it's thick, but it's not. Okay, so that's going to go on there. But before I do that, I am going to take my thank you, and I am going to grab my soft succulent. Okay, I'm going to put thank you right here. I'm going to take this whole piece, bring in my machine, and this, I love this time-worn type paper. I am going to go ahead and I'm layering that in there, and I am going to run this through my machine. There we go. Now remember, this is going to get layered on there. I think I like that better than that. This is too busy. Well, I don't know. I like the yellow too. Maybe I will do the yellow. Let me see. I don't know. I think this makes it pop more. Okay. Before I do that, remember I told you about distressing. So let me do this as a distressed card, okay? So 2 techniques here. Just going along and breaking some of those fibers down. Don't worry about if it rips, because that's the distressed look, and I think that embossing folder gives it that look. Okay, and then I'm going to take the designer series paper and do the same thing. I just cut that. It's fine. That's what gives it the distressed look. Oh yes, Sam, definitely try a spotlight card. They're fun to make and they're so easy. You can also use squares. Any layering die would work. Okay, that's enough of that. Got all these fibers all over the place now. Okay, I'm not going to put that there yet. So this is going to layer right on top of here. Can even do it, I think I'll even do it a little sideways there like that, as long as it lays right back on my card. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and glue that down first. It's on your list for next, oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, I love this bundle. That's why I picked it for my September class. Okay, so there we have that, and it's all distressed. Now I'm going to take this and I'm going to line it back up. Don't try to line this one up. Well, you can, but sometimes it's easier. Line it up by these 2 lines, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and put some glue down here. You could also add dimensionals and make it pop a little bit more if you wanted. Look at that. Okay, and then of course it's going to go right on here. You want to make sure that you layer it so that your card, the white piece, doesn't hang over too much. We are going to go right in there with that. I am going to grab another little bee because it's so cute. I'm going to put it right on top of here. The little bee is going to go right here. Okay, I'm going to grab some of those brushed metallic. I think I'll use this one. I am going to grab another piece of white, regular size white for the inside. It says thank you. That's going to go inside. I am going to grab, let's see if I clean this off. I'll grab this one. My soft succulent. Just going to put that right there. For the inside, and there you have another great card. And of course, here's the envelope. So let's just use this one since I've already inked it up. This is a great, great bundle. I love this suite. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I am going to take the inside that says thank you, and the inside says a reminder to never forget how much you mean to me and so many others. I am going to go ahead and stamp that, which I should have stamped it before, but I just decided to do that. Hey, you love this card too? Well, I'm so glad that you did. Okay, so that is my second card. I'm so glad I got through both cards. So there's my spotlight card. Let's bring in the other cards so you can see them. There's another spotlight card. Still shots will be on later. Hey, Beth. Another spotlight card. And then, of course, we have this one with the nice ribbon and the glitter paper. The first one I did was this one. And then, of course, my Z-fold easel cards, which are so easy to make. And then this one. Which one's your favorite? I'd love to see which one you pick as a favorite. Okay. Let me flip the camera. So again, if you want to see the still shots and you want the measurements, they will be on my blog later today, stampersdelight.com. Now this one I am going to give away today. That's why I told you to hang on. Okay, so where is my little note that I wrote myself? Here it is. Okay, if you've been watching me, you know I am going to be retiring the end of the year. Okay, so I'm tracking it by work days. Okay, so the person that guesses how many work days I have left, I am going to send you this card. U.S. only. Please play along if you're out of the country, but unfortunately, I'm only mailing things to the States. It's so expensive. But just know that thank you is for all of you that watch me and share my videos. Okay, so we are going to start guessing, and I am going to tell you to guess numbers. Let's see. I want to make it smaller, so 75 to 100, okay? Any of the numbers between 75 and up. First one out, Carol Davis, you won. Don't even, look at that, Carol Davis, the first one out, she won it. So Carol Davis, if I don't have your address, I'm not sure I do, please message me with your address. Carol Davis, the very first one won it. You can see there's number 72 there. Hey, Kathy, I'll see you tomorrow. 72 work days. Carol, thank you so much, and everyone else for playing. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a great, great weekend, and I will see you on YouTube Monday evening at 7 p.m. Until then, we will miss you. No, I'm not retiring from stamping. I'm sorry, Deborah. I'm retiring from my daytime job so I can do more stamping. Sorry. Have a great weekend, everybody, and keep on stamping. Bye.